Does the photographer lose control the moment they publish? There is a moment in every photographer's work that feels final. The image is edited, the selection is made, the upload button is pressed, and the photograph enters the world. At that moment, it may feel like completion. But in reality, it is something else. It is the beginning of a new phase where control starts to shift. The question is not whether the photographer has control before publishing. They do, over composition, over editing, over presentation. But once an image is published, control begins to fragment. One of the first shifts happens through platform systems. Social media does not show images equally. Algorithms decide what is seen, when it is seen, and by whom. This means the photographer's intention is no longer the only factor shaping visibility. The platform becomes an invisible filter between the image and its audience. Then comes audience behavior. People do not interact with images in a structured way. Some scroll past quickly, some pause, some save, some repost. Each action changes how the image spreads. And none of these actions are controlled by the creator. As the image circulates, it begins to detach from its original context. A photograph that was part of a series may appear alone. An image created with a specific meaning may be shared without explanation. And slowly, the photographer's original framing starts to fade. This does not mean the image loses value. It means it begins to live independently. Another layer of control loss happens through reinterpretation. Every viewer brings their own perspective, their own emotional state, their own cultural understanding. So even if the photographer intended a specific message, that message does not remain fixed. It evolves as it passes through different minds. In some cases, it expands the meaning. In others, it completely changes it. And this is where photography becomes unpredictable. Because creation is intentional, but reception is not. There is also the issue of replication. Once an image exists online, it can be copied endlessly, reposted across platforms, cropped, edited, combined with other content. Each version slightly shifts perception. And over time, the image becomes less tied to its origin and more tied to its circulation. But does this mean the photographer truly loses control completely? Not entirely, because control in photography does not disappear. It transforms. Before publishing, control is direct and technical. After publishing, control becomes indirect and conceptual. It exists in how strong the image is, how memorable it is, how clearly it communicates its visual language. A strong photograph still carries its core identity even when it spreads widely. But that identity is now shared with interpretation, platform dynamics, and audience behavior. So publishing is not an ending of control. It is a redistribution of it. Some control remains with the creator. Some shifts to the viewer. Some is absorbed by the platform. And some is shaped by culture. This is why photography in the digital age is different from photography in earlier eras. An image is no longer static once it is released. It is fluid. It moves through systems, people, and interpretations. So the real question is not whether control is lost. It is how control changes shape after publication. Because in modern photography, creation is only one part of the process. The rest belongs to everything that happens after the image leaves your hands.